I literally just came across the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. What's up, internet people? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working on the Foxbody Wagon, and I am going to get started with swapping the axles. A little bit of a quick backstory. I put an SVO rear end in this Foxbody Wagon, and the reason I went with the SVO is because it already had 373 gears, it was 5-lug, and it had disc brakes. So I thought I was kind of getting ahead of the game, but it turns out the axles on the SVO, they stick out just a little bit more than what your stock Foxbody axles would stick out. So it kind of bones me on the wheel choices. I went ahead and bought wheels anyway, and I've got axles for a Foxbody stock length, and I'm going to swap those. The issue I'm going to have is seeing if I can get the disc brake setup that I already have to work, or if I have to just completely scrap those and get the 94, 95 GT or Cobra brakes set up and make that work. I ordered the brackets from LMR that would bolt those brakes up, hoping that maybe I'd get lucky and the bolt spacing for the calipers would match what I already had, but it does not. So I'm going to get it all torn apart, and I'm going to see if I can actually take the brackets from one side and flip them to the other side and still use my stock brake setup. I have no idea how this is going to go, so I guess we're going to find out together. So here's the rear end that I have under it. Now, I actually had to kind of rig the brake lines from the old rear end to fit on this one and get out to where they needed to be. Wasn't a huge big deal, but this is my 7.5. Like I said, it's already got 373 gears. The first thing I'm going to do is just get wheels off, get all the brake calipers unbolted and pulled away, get the discs off each side. Then I will pop the cover, drain all the fluid that was brand new, and kind of start over. And then I can pull the axles out and start kind of moving stuff around and see what I've got. I've gotten both sides apart pretty much. Calipers are all off. Obviously the rotors are off. So what I need to do now is just pop that cover, drain all the fluid, and then I can get to the clips that are inside that hold the axles and then pull the axles out. Then I can get to this bracket, and this is what I'm going to try to mess with and see if I can switch this one with that one over there and just flip-flop them and see if that kind of does what I need it to do or not. If it doesn't do what I hope it will do, then I'll have to use the brackets that I have from LMR, and I'll have to change my brakes and stuff back here to the 94, 95 style. I think in the end, I'll probably end up breaking even. I could have started with just a Foxbody rear end with drum brakes, and then I'd be kind of where I am right now, with the exception of having to swap the gears. And not that it's super difficult, but there's a couple tools involved that I don't personally own, so not something I wanted to undertake. And I got a good deal on this rear end, so, you know, in the end, even if I have to swap the brakes back here to the 94, 95 GT or Cobra, I'll probably come out, you know, dead even or pretty close to it, and I'm okay with that. Now, I put some goop on here when I put this back together the first time, and I'm pretty sure I did a pretty good job, and it's going to be a bit difficult to get this off. Of course, my jack is in the way, right where I need to be. That's awesome. Freaky frack. I moved the jacks out. Hopefully, that gives me a little bit more room to work. Here we go. Look at that. All right. And I didn't bring any paper towels out here with me, because why would I do that? All right. Well, I did a really good job putting this cover on, so kudos to me. There it is. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yummy. I went ahead and left the very top bolt in so that this cover would not come off and go flying somewhere. So now I can take that out and get this cover off. but I loosened it up just enough that I could peel the cover away. And there's what the inside of the rear end will look like. First of all, you need to get your gears, your rear end kind of positioned like this. You need access to this bolt right here. I'm using an 8mm. You can also use a 5/16. Both of them are, you know, a little bit wobbly on there. They don't grab as tight as I'd like, but they work. So, you know, try both and see which one you like first. But this bolt has to come out. Then this pin will come out. That will allow you to push the axles in from each side, and then you can get to the clips to pull those, and then the axles will slide out. And I'll show you what I mean. One thing I had to do was put the car in park after I had moved this around. I had it in neutral and I moved it to where I needed it to be. I put it in park so that this wouldn't move because this bolt's in there kind of tight and I needed the leverage. I literally just came across the worst possible thing that could have happened to me. Have a look at this. Yep, that's what that is. I cannot believe how lucky I just got. I was able to get a pick on the other end and just kind of work that pin just a little bit. It would rotate. And I went as far as I could, and it disappeared into that big pin that I have to pull out. Well, then I looked on the other side and I could see the end of it, and I was able to use this pick again to keep turning it, and I cannot believe that it actually is coming out. There it is right there. And I took a tiny little magnet and I was able to get it on the end. And there's my pin. I mean, it broke. I mean, if it was gonna break, which it did, it broke probably in the best place possible, right at the very last thread. I don't know that I would have been able to get it out if there were other threads in there. So I just dodged a major bullet and got extremely lucky. All right, back in neutral. I rotated this so I could get this pin right here to slide out. You want to be very careful when you take it out. You don't want to damage it or nick it or anything. There we go. Come on. Come on. There you go. All right, we're going to clean that up. And it only goes in one way, so we're going to set that down. Now I can push the driver's side axle in, and I will be able to get to the pin. Let's see, I need to rotate this. All right, I'm going to push that axle in and then pull that pin out. I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the C-clamp. It just slides over the axle. Just push your axle in so you can see the back end of this right here. I took a magnet and I just pulled it out like that. That's all it looks like. So now I can take that axle out of that side. That's the driver's side. Well, it's tough to hold these with one hand, but the point is this axle is much shorter than the SVO axle. And that's what I need to gain the wheel clearance. Okay, so I got them lined up on that end, and this is what it looks like. Quite a bit of difference. All right, let's take a measurement here and let's see what we got. We are, wow, about 1 1/8 inch difference from this face plate, or this face to this face right there. Yep, that is about 1 1/8 inch. This is the driver's side. I had to grind just a little bit right there so that this bracket would fit correctly and the holes would line up right there. Not much, just a little bit. The new axle is slid in on the driver's side. Here's my little C-clip that I'm going to now slide into that groove right there, and then I'll pull the axle back this way and it'll lock in, and then when I do the other side I'll be able to put that pin right through there and hold everything in place. Well, besides the bolt that snapped in half right out the gate, the rest of this install went pretty easy. Now I just have to kind of track down some parts to put it all back together as far as the brakes are concerned. I've got the axles and the brackets already mounted. This is the passenger side. Axle, bracket, all bolted up, ready to go. I'm not gonna be able to use the SVO, well, I know I'm not gonna be able to use the caliper bracket. I might get lucky and be able to use the caliper, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna go and find the 94-95 GT caliper bracket and get that mounted, and then I'll see if it lines up with this one. If not, then I'm gonna have to swap it. We'll see how much of this I'm actually gonna get to use. I might get lucky and be able to use the discs that I already have. Who knows? I may end up having to replace all of that junk. We'll see. But I'm gonna stop here and just do some research, find the parts wherever I can find them, and hopefully not spend an arm and a leg. I can't wait to see this thing on all 4 new wheels. The front wheels look great. They are skinny and it takes a little getting used to, but you know, the car still has a 6-cylinder in it, so it's not like I'm doing passes down a drag strip. But it's gonna look good for a little bit until I get everything gathered up for the actual LS swap. Here's the driver's side, all done, ready to go. Cool little kit. I have the differential cover, all the surfaces are clean, ready to go. As soon as I find that bolt, I'll put some RTV around it and get that bolted on and then torqued, and then I can fill it. If you haven't already seen the wheels, these are the ones that I bought.
Got them 20s on there. Them 20s, I just got them.
Them ain't 20s, but it's off the hook.
Them are 20s, man. Nah, they 10s. I bought them from somebody, but they nice though.
Yeah, they cool.
They're 15s. I got them from Summit. They're kind of the off-brand of the race stars, but I think they look really cool on this car, you know, especially with my little surfboard up here. These axles being pushed in a little bit more on each side are going to give me a little bit more clearance, thankfully, for my tire. I've actually already rolled this fender from here to here a little bit, just to get a little bit extra clearance with the tires that are on there. With my new wheels, I needed just a little bit more back spacing, and I didn't have it, so this is gonna solve that problem. And maybe I'll get a little bit wider tire on the new wheel. We'll see. Doesn't have to be anything massive. Part 2 will be just finishing up the brakes and getting the new wheels and tires for the rear put on, and then we should be able to boogie down the road for a little bit. As always, I appreciate you watching. Stay hungry, stay foolish.